Welcome on in here to Sports Memo Today, first edition of the week. It's Tuesday, which means it's a $2 Tuesday. We're going to be joined by one of our $2 Tuesday experts. We got Dionne D'Amico with a home run play coming your way in Major League Baseball. You can grab her play and Pure Lock with an MLB play for just $3. That's our gift to you over at Sports Memo. I'm your host, Dan Alexander, getting you that actionable info that you know and love in 30 minutes or less. You see to my side here, we got some Stanley Cup talk. Will tonight be the final night of the Stanley Cup? We'll find out what our experts think. And then we got some plays on the diamond just for you with the aforementioned Dionne D'Amico and Jesse Schule batting cleanup for us here. Also, if you're wondering, over at Wager Talk, we got Andy Lang with another MLB play. That's just $2. So 3 plays for just $5. Grab the double over at Sports Memo for $3. Grab the one at Wager Talk for $2. Have yourself a hell of a Tuesday. We're going to have ourselves a hell of a Tuesday show as we bring in our first guest, the better half of Joe D'Amico. Dionne D'Amico joining us wearing her Yankees best. We're not going to be talking Yankees today. You got to play in the Reds and the Royals game. But first, let's get into this Stanley Cup final, because there's some people that thinking that the Panthers might just be DOA as they're showing up for the game here today. What do you think? Is it time to back the dog to extend the series, or are you and Joe going to be planning your trip to the parade for the VGK side? What do we think, Dionne?
Excuse me. My NHL has made everyone money once again this season. It's been good, really good, my friends. And this play today that I'm giving out almost made it as a premium play over at Sports Memo tonight. As a Las Vegan, I always support our home teams, and my heart is with the Golden Knights. But sports betting isn't about your feelings in your heart. Sports betting is about filling your pockets. I know the home team has dominated this rivalry going back a while. I also know Vegas has beaten Florida in every home game going back several seasons. But the Panthers are no pushovers. I mean, there's a reason why they're in the finals, my friends. A lot of the money is coming in on the Golden Knights since the line came out. And now that they're approaching a $2 favorite, I just don't see value on them here. Florida has their backs up against the wall and are fully aware of what a loss means here. I'm not going to say that this is not an uphill battle for the Panthers, but they are no strangers being down 3-1 in the series. For instance, just look at the series with the Bruins in the first round. They were down 3-1 and came back to win. Then they beat the Maple Leafs, and then the Hurricanes. And if you're worried about them playing at the Fortress, just remember that prior to this series, they won 8 straight road games in this postseason. To me, I just feel this is way too high of a price to give a Florida team with their backs up against the wall. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Panthers in this matchup.
Looking towards the Panthers. It's barking dog time, and Dionne saying bet with the head, not the heart. That's an emotional hedge through and through right there. I love it. But also, all good things must come to an end, right? So the Vegas Golden Knights' domination on that home ice might just be tonight. It comes to an end, according to our expert here, Dionne D'Amico. And as she said, NHL's been great. Don't forget, too, as NHL is rolling to a close, you want to start padding your bankrolls. You also handicap WNBA. You've been starting to heat up there. And as far as Major League Baseball goes, a 7-2 run that you're riding on. And that's what led you to really feeling strong about this $2 Tuesday play you have up over at your page, right, Dionne?
Yes, it is. And, what I'm excited about, too, is, that no matter where you look on the Sports Memo leaderboard, you're going to find one of the D'Amicos there. So, you win either way. So, but for my baseball play, yeah.
Well, even if you don't see Joe D'Amico there, you'll definitely hear him some way, somehow. That's the absolute lock of the century. See, you can't get away from him. You can't get away from him. The first family of Las Vegas. We love having you guys on. Always good for some laughs and always good for some padding of the bankrolls as well. As you mentioned, you were just about to be getting into it. I've heard a lot of experts talking about this Reds and Kansas City Royals game that's going here today. Mm-hmm. A lot of talk about the side. I haven't really heard much thoughts about the total, and that's where you're going to be looking here. So Reds and Royals, what are we thinking for a total play here, Dionne?
Yeah, so traditionally these two teams have played quite a few unders. However, I think we can all agree there's nothing traditional about this season at all. Yesterday, I put out a premium release on the over in this game, and it came in for all of us. And guess what? Tonight, we're coming right back with another over again tonight. Neither team is really known for their explosive lineups, and both teams are certainly known to have horrible pitching staffs. As a matter of fact, both staffs rank just about at the bottom in the majors in every pitching category. The Reds ranked 27th with a team ERA of 5.01. The Royals ranked 28th with a team ERA of 5.17. Today's pitchers, Williamson and Lyles. The Cincinnati left-hander has not earned a decision yet with an ERA of 5.40, and he's only making his 6th career start. This will be his first start against today's opponent. His last 3 turns, an ERA of 6.48, and on the road, an ERA of 4.50. The Kansas City right-hander is 0-10 with a 6.84 ERA. In his last 3 outings, 0-2 with a 5.82 ERA. At home this season, 0-5 with a 5.23 ERA. Both starters are averaging between 4 and 5 innings per outing. I do expect scoring early, but no matter what happens with the starters, you can always depend on both bullpens to get lit up. I look for even more runs to be scored tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and take the over in tonight.
Going for the over, expecting a lot of runs, it says Dionne D'Amico. Yes. We already mentioned it, that $2 Tuesday play, but let people know once they grab that over at your page or combine it and grab that $3 deal that we have going at sportsmemo.com and get pure locks play as well. What else are they going to find locked and loaded at your page? Because as we were just saying, it's not, sadness time when the NHL is rolling to a close. You keep locked in across different sports. So what are people going to find over at sm.buzz/DA?
Yeah, well, for tonight, my $2 Tuesday release. So we're going to go ahead and swing at the fences and hit a home run tonight. That's right. I have my MLB home run play, which are on a 4-2 run right now. This has become my most popular and my most profitable baseball season this season. So join me here, and together we're going to go ahead and hit a home run. This is my only play that I do have released for today. But as Dan did mention, my WNBA is starting to heat up, and my MLB is on a 7-2 run. So this is the perfect time to go ahead and lock in on some of those discounts that we have going on right now for a longer time.
I love it. That's Dionne D'Amico, and now she's free for a little pool time with her and Joe. Hey, handicapping by the pool, that's how they stay on those leaderboards. Clear mind keeps them seeing the board well. Appreciate you coming on, Dionne, and man, the next guy that we're going to be talking here in just a moment, Jesse Schule. I know he refers to himself at times as Mr. Perfect on Twitter. We should call him Mr. Future because he told you guys long ago that the Nuggets were going to be winning the title. He guaranteed you they were going to be winning the conference. So he cashes another plus money play, and just apropos, he was on the schedule already, so he gets to strut his stuff. Jesse Schule joining us, the Iceman, Mr. Perfect, Mr. Future, whatever the hell you want to call him. I'm just happy that you've continued to cash tickets for us here on Sports Memo Today. Jesse, I'll give you some time here at the top to strut your stuff like a peacock before we start getting into some actionable info here. So, man, the future plays, even across, I go back to when we were talking like some different soccer leagues and, way back when we first started the show and you were talking CFL plays. I don't know how you're able to prognosticate season longs. Is that part of your handicapping style? Because it feels like you do it time after time, finding value in this future market.
Yeah, futures has always been a big earner for me. I don't know how to put my finger on it. I put in the time. I'm always paying attention. I'm always looking ahead. I got to say it's been quite successful for me. And the NBA again. I don't know if you saw on Twitter, Dan, but I just posted a post the other day about my record in the NBA playoffs, and then I had no idea, but I just, out of curiosity's sake, I thought, well, this is a pretty good record this year. And I checked, and you know what? Last year's record was identical. It was exactly the same amount of plays, same amount of, it was amazing. But anyways, we've done well with the NBA futures and the NHL futures. We haven't cashed them yet, so we shouldn't really jinx them, but I gave out Marchessault to win the Conn Smythe on this show at plus 675 2 weeks ago. He's minus 600 coming into this game. I like his chances. And unfortunately, I can't give out any more futures on this show today because the NBA is over and the NHL is close to being over. So we're just going to look at Game 5 tonight in Las Vegas.
Well, I guess just get ready for the gridiron. And no, we're not talking NFL. We're talking CFL with our man Jesse Schule. Ain't no rest for the wicked. Ain't no rest for my man Jesse Schule. But as you mentioned, let's go back to this Stanley Cup final, because we heard that Dionne's thinking the Panthers might just be getting it done, a nice plus money price for the folks, undoing what has been a horrible road trip for them, getting the Vegas flu every time they go out there. But you have some thoughts here, just as far as the game's going to start off. Vegas first period, we're looking at Vegas as about a half goal favorite. We're also looking at the total being about 1.5 goals. It's kind of been one of those high scoring series, at least to start off the series. And, unders have been hard to come by. Do we think maybe with a little championship jitters, we could be seeing an under in the first period here? How are you going to be betting the first period tonight in the Stanley Cup Finals?
Well, first off, I listened to what Dionne said, and she's absolutely right. I've been paying attention to this price, and at first, my knee-jerk reaction was, let's take Vegas to close it out tonight. But she's absolutely right. There's a ton of money coming in on Vegas, and that presents great value if you want to take Florida for the game. I'm not going to do that. As I said, I'm already invested in Vegas futures. I'm cheering for Vegas tonight. Sorry, Dionne, but she's absolutely right. The line, the value, the value play is probably Florida to extend the series. And let's face it, if this game goes to overtime, Florida hasn't lost in overtime. And, they're a feisty bunch. But I said that Vegas was the better team 2 weeks ago when I went on this show. I'm still saying it. And I will take them for the first period, minus 150 on home ice. There's a good chance it'll be a draw in the first period, but if one team is leading after 20 minutes, I think it's going to be Las Vegas.
So we're looking at Vegas to start it off hot. And I see what you're saying too. And if we do, or if you do think this game could potentially be going to overtime, I think you could shop around. There's still some will the game go to overtime props out there. I know it's not, the most advantageous wager, but when you're talking at around a 3-1, 3.5 to 1 on a final chance here for Florida, hopefully they fight during the game instead of starting the fight after the game this time. Maybe keep it going before the final buzzer sounds there. All right, so you think Vegas starts out with the lead, but what do you think? You think they get that lead just 1-0, or do you think this is a high-scoring game to start it off?
Well, Dan, that last play was just, warming up, but this is the good stuff you're going to get right now. So last night I broke down the total for the closeout game in the NBA Finals, and I broke down how the NBA Finals has played out over the last 10 years. And I'm going to do it again here. Over the last 10 years in the closeout game in the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Stanley Cup clinching game has gone under in 9 of the last 10 seasons. Wow. The last 4 years, we saw Colorado win 2-1 last year. Tampa Bay won 1-0 the year prior. Tampa Bay won 2-0 the year before that, and St. Louis won 4-1. There's a 9-1 under trend here, and the total is sitting at 6 at some books here for Game 5, and there's no guarantee that this is going to be the final game, but the Stanley Cup is in the building, and when the Stanley Cup is in the building, the total tends to go under the number. I'm going to say under for the first period, under 1.5 plus money. I think it's going to be either scoreless or one team's going to be up 1-0 after the first 20 minutes.
I love it. Under the 1.5, and I also love the historical data. If it is, in fact, the closeout game, looking like a 9-1 run. I love the breakdown there, Jesse. And when people head on over to your page, sm.buzz/JS, and before you go there, maybe even check out the deals page so you know what deal you're going to be getting and using on maybe some long-term access from my man Jesse Schule, because what are they going to find locked and loaded over at your page, brother?
Well, tonight I have a play on the NHL and a play in Major League Baseball. But for the rest of the summer, you can look forward to WNBA, Major League Soccer, basically any soccer leagues that are going on, CFL. I'm a diverse guy. As Dan said, I'm looking at everything that's going on and doing it all at once. And I've had success doing it. And over the last 5 years, I've hit over 60% in June, July, and August for a profit of 78,720 units. That's over 80 grand for dime players and over $8,000 for $100 bettors. So you definitely want to check me out for the rest of the summer.
Yeah, a lot of people think the summer is the doldrum of the year. It seems like that's just when the Iceman starts heating up. Definitely check Jesse Schule out, one of the most profitable guys across both sites when you're talking about Sports Memo and Wager Talk when it comes to these summer months. And when you ask him, what do you handicap? The answer is just yes. If there's a sport going on, he'll find a way to find an edge on it. And that's going to do it for us. A nice short show for you here to kick off the week on a Tuesday. Big thanks to Dionne D'Amico. Big thanks to Jesse Schule. Will we be seeing the Stanley Cup hoisted for the Vegas Golden Knights? I guess we'll find out tonight. So definitely let us know in the comments if you think it's going to be continuing or if it's going to be ending tonight. Also, drop your favorite plays in there. We love seeing them in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe bell so you never miss any of the great shows here at Sports Memo TV or at Wager Talk TV. Big thanks to our guests. Big thanks to Eric doing a terrific job behind the scenes. There's your actionable info in 30 minutes or less. I've been your host, Dan Alexander, and we'll see you Thursday right here on Sports Memo Today.